Hi everyone, and welcome to the Workday Adaptive Planning 2020 R2 release highlights. Your presenter today is myself, Rena Driver, a senior manager here at Armanino, and I am actually the Adaptive Insights practice lead here and have over 7 years of adaptive implementation experience. Some of the highlights that I'm going to feature today are shown here. So we'll go through the new anomaly detection, the version-specific formula override, some updates to both the HTML reports and Office Connect reports, some other updates on the integration, and a few other highlights. For anomaly detection, this is Adaptive's big release in this release that now allows you to automatically see any big outliers that might have accidentally made it into your budget. The way this is enabled is actually by picking a version that you feel would be a perfect comparison point, something like prior year budget or last year actuals. And once you create that new version, you have to name it AIML-forecast, save it off, open a support ticket with adaptive support, letting them know you would like to enable anomaly detection. And they will go through the process of turning it on, and it does actually add another toggle icon on your sheets to turn on and off, and Adaptive will actually highlight in red anything that falls outside of the norm in your current version when comparing it to the AIML forecast version. So really cool and really awesome feature, but definitely requires opening a support ticket with Adaptive to turn that feature on. The next big release here are the version-specific master formulas, and this is one that I am most excited about in this release. So previously, if you had set up a personnel model and 2 years later decided that you had wanted to change the way salary expense was calculated, you had found yourself in a very careful situation where you cannot update that salary modeled account formula without changing your previous locked versions budget that were results of that calculation. Now, once your versions are locked, you are free to change the modeled account formulas or cube calculated account or any other master formulas in your current version. So this is awesome. Just make sure that your old versions are locked and they will not take on the new version. Even if you go back and unlock the version, it will not automatically inherit it. So once it's locked, if you're just changing the formula on the new versions, it's going to use that formula going forward without impacting previous versions. Again, you can do this on any modeled account, cube account, or master formula. There is a box that is to the right above the master formula bar that allows you to check the box to say override, and then you just type in the new formula and click save. For reporting, a couple features here. So you now have the ability to share reports only to specific users or user groups. So previously, any report you had in your shared report folder was accessible to all users, of course, only showing them the data they had access to. But now you can actually specify who can see that report or which user groups can see that report. So after the report is created in the library, you can just right click on that report, click on permissions, and then change the user access of which users can see that report. One other small notable item here, if anybody was using the report charts within the HTML reports, those have now been retired, and likely you should be using dashboards or Office Connect to create those report charts. And speaking of Office Connect, this is another really big release. So you now have the ability to drag and drop account and dimension or level combinations, and then right click and expand all. So expand all will automatically create that tabular combination of every account child within that account group and every, say, level or product dimension value in whatever you dropped in. So Adaptive automatically just kind of blasts out the rows of every combination of data that exists there. And I can actually show this in my Excel here. So I've got this Office Connect open. I've dropped in my time period and my version. I've dropped in my revenue account. And now if I hold down and drop in my org structure on top of it, I can now right click, Office Connect, expand, and I can select both account and level. You'll have to hit the control key and click OK. And Adaptive is now repeating and expanding out all the combinations of the children of which I've pulled in here. So now there's the combinations. Really neat there. Another feature worth mentioning as well is the ability now to define groups of your accounts so that when you add account children to Adaptive, Office Connect will automatically create the new row of that new child. So previously, if you had created a P&L report and you had gone through and dropped in your product revenue in here and then added a new account a month or so later, Office Connect did not automatically add that new account to your report, and you would have had to remember to go back and drop in the new account or relink that group. So now you can go through, and I'm going to highlight and drop these accounts in. I then highlight the children here, and I click Add Group. If I then were to go into Adaptive and add another account, which I can do here, call this new account, hit save. I'm going to come back to my Office Connect. I am going to save this file. I'm going to click the update elements, and then I'm going to click refresh. And you'll see my new account was automatically added here with the rest of the group because I had defined that group. And you also see it here in the review tab. So to me, this is an extremely big win, super powerful. I recommend that when you are building out all of your reports, you keep these groupings in mind so that going forward, you have way less maintenance and things to remember to drag back in after you do add those new accounts. Some other notable highlights as it relates to user experience and just other miscellaneous highlights. You likely already noticed this, but the navigation menu was replaced with the Workday logo, so you no longer see those 3 black lines on the top left. With dashboards and active dashboards, you can now save your default view of your sheet on the active dashboard, and cube and modeled sheets on active dashboards now react and filter to the level and dimension attribute perspective filters. So previously, if you had that context menu on the top of your dashboard perspective, it did not actually change the filter of the sheets below, but it does now. For access rules, the template has become a little bit easier to populate. You can now use this tilde symbol in your import template to automatically give user access to all the child levels underneath without having to type out specifically all of those child levels. With integration, we can now use union tables to pull together data from 2 different tables, and there is an erase data API available for automatically erasing plan data. So some really great features this time around, most notably I would say in the anomaly detection, the Office Connect features, as well as the modeled account, cube account, formula specific to the versions. So really exciting updates. Hope you make good use of these, and please reach out if you do have any questions or would like to learn more about these features. Thank you all for listening, and hope you have a great rest of your day.